African Union.
Excellences, Monsieur le Chef d'État.
Excellencies, Heads of State and Government, Your Excellency Philemon Yang, President of the United Nations General Assembly, Your Excellency Antonio Guterres, my United Nations Secretary General, ladies and gentlemen. Allow me to commend the Secretary General for his tireless commitment to overcome global challenges, which are more complex every time and every day, and they threaten the existence of humans and other life forms more and more. The Summit of the Future, here we are, created and organized under your impetus, dear Antonio, and it can claim the honor of having accurately reflected the issues at stake. It completes the picture and the context through providing the best solution to successfully overcome the obstacles in our way. The solution is the adherence of all member states of the United Nations to the principles of multilateralism, solidarity, not hostility, the respect, not scorn, peace, not war, sharing, not exclusion, freedom, not servitude, equality, and not supremacy. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, clearly declining for a certain amount of time. Over recent times, the multilateralism has been eclipsed under unilateralism and has led to a return of a policy of power struggle. We welcome the Pact of the Future because it builds its deployment around a rejection of this approach. It plans on renewing and strengthening the confidence of states in multilateralism. This position has been constantly defended by the African Union, and hence its interest to fully adhere to the 5 sections of the Pact, and indeed the 60 actions recommended by the Pact, particularly the Global Digital Compact, cut across the 7 aspirations of the 2063 Agenda. For each of these fields, the African Union has created strategies that are then translated into plans of action, even though their implementation has been hobbled significantly by the scarcity of financing and deficiencies in governance. And there's no point in hiding this. Therefore, these are problems that are familiar to us in Africa, even if Asia and Latin America, in certain respects, are still in the same conditions of precarity that the African people are. The African Union welcomes the philosophy of the Pact, which seeks to take into account the specific aspects of developing countries, island states, landlocked countries and LDCs, the majority of which are in Africa. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, while the African Union welcomes this holistic approach that embraces and reflects the whole landscape of the challenges to come, it is no less does it also ask profound questions on the ways of implementing all of these actions. A lot of promises have been made, even though they have not necessarily been followed up on. Let's hope that this time the wealthy keep their promises, and Africa and other parts of the world themselves can be sources of intelligence, motivation, willingness and necessary solidarity for its to become an emergency economy and save their economies. Safeguarding an environment that is enabling for this and the conditions for success of the digital revolution are the best keys for the future. The hymns currently sung today by hundreds of millions of young Africans is resonant, and this is a question of renaissance. The next G20 in Africa will be represented, where Africa will be jointly represented by the African Union and the South and Republic of South Africa. The speaker's microphone has been cut off.
I find